Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Huck. Today we are doing a currently reading update to chat about what I've been reading recently. So far, my December reading has been going pretty well. I have read, is it like 7 or 8 books so far? 2 of them were graphic novels, and I've read a couple of short things also. But overall, reading is going well. One of my big accomplishments for the month is that I finally finished reading Assassin's Fate by Robin Hobb, which is the final book in the realm of the Elderlings. I also finished reading the companion novella, The Willful Princess and the Piebald Prince, so I am like good and truly done with the realm of the Elderlings, which I'm so excited about because that was like, I've been reading this series for so many years, and that was one of my goals for the year is to finish that final trilogy and really complete the realm of the Elderlings. So that's my like big accomplishment for the month, that I feel like I've kind of done all I needed to do for this month. Speaking of which though, I wanted to mention here, because I meant to say this in my last wrap up, but I forgot, that I am going to be doing reviews for the individual books of the Fits in the Fool trilogy, and also probably a like Realm of the Elderlings overall reflection, but those are going to be coming later. You probably have heard about the HarperCollins Workers Union strike that is going on right now, and they've asked that reviewers don't post reviews of HarperCollins imprint books, and all of the Hobb books that I have are Harper Voyager books, which are in HarperCollins imprint. So in support of their strike, I'm going to be holding off on those reviews. I'm filming them now so that I have, you know, my thoughts fresh, but I'm going to be posting them a little bit later. And as to when, I don't know exactly, but we'll see how the strike progresses. Anyways, that was a just note that I wanted to make because I forgot to mention it in my last wrap up. Okay, diving into what I've been reading, the last book that I finished was actually Legends and Lattes by, I don't know the author's name, Travis Baldree, which is just cozy fantasy. Like, that is the point of this book, is to be high fantasy, low stakes, just real cozy. It's kind of like a D&D side quest about this orc who has been part of an adventuring party for most of her life and has decided to settle down, and she starts a coffee shop. And it's about her, you know, settling in this new town, meeting new people, starting a coffee shop in a place where nobody knows what coffee is, and about the connections that she makes with the people that in the town and the people that she works with. And yeah, it was exactly what it promised to be. It was just very cozy and wholesome, and just a really fun and easy, sweet story to read, which is exactly what I wanted out of it, because I was reading this like right after finishing Assassin's Fate, which is very intense and extremely long. So I wanted something that was shorter and lighter, and I had a great time with it. I think I gave it like 3 or 3.5 stars, just because it's not one that like left a strong impression, but I don't think it's necessarily meant to be. The point is that it is kind of just a sweet little slice of life. I don't know, maybe not slice of life, but just like a window into a little cozy world. Then for what I am currently reading, I have 2 books that I just recently started. So my physical read right now is Moon Dark Smile by Tessa Gratton. This is the like companion sequel to Night Shine. It's a YA fantasy series that she's writing. This came out in 2022 and I really wanted to read it this year, so trying to get to it now. I was going back and forth as to whether I was going to read this or The Widow Queen, which I also really wanted to read this year, but I just didn't feel like I had the time or like wherewithal to dive into The Widow Queen. I am still very excited about it, but I just feel like that's going to be a little bit of a heavier book. And as I said, I'm kind of in a like, I finished one really intense book. I want to just kind of read more light, fun things right now. And this isn't, I don't know if I would characterize this as like super light and fun, but it's just a little bit shorter, a little bit lighter, a little bit easier to read. So I'm not super far into this yet. I've only read 2 chapters so far, and the prologue so far, but I am enjoying it. I'm happy to be back in this world. I think that, you know, Tessa Gratton's writing in this series is kind of interesting because there's something about it that I feel like somehow both has a distance from the characters, and yet also she writes things in such a eloquent way that I still feel very engaged and connected to the story and characters. So, you know, of the like 2 chapters and prologue that I've read, it has been a good experience so far. And I mean, I wasn't expecting otherwise because I love Tessa Gratton's writing, but I just have been thinking a little bit more about what her writing is like while I've been reading this one for some reason. Okay, and then the other book that I just started, and I have literally read 1 chapter, so not very far into this yet, but I also started The Golem and the Genie by Helene Wecker. This is historical fiction, historical fantasy about a golem and a genie. It's set in 1899 New York. It is following the golem and the genie as they're trying to fit in with their immigrant neighbors while masking their true selves. And I think that their paths cross at some point. Other than that, I don't really know what happens. So far in the first chapter, we've really just been introduced to the golem. But I'm listening to the audiobook of this, and so far, I'm really liking it. So those are the 2 books that I am currently reading. And then as for what I'm reading next, I actually don't know. As I said, I had been thinking that I was gonna maybe be able to squeeze The Widow Queen in this year, but now I really don't think so. With the pace at which I am reading, I don't think I'm going to fit it in. But I do think I will try to get to it in January. But I don't want it to be my first book of the year because we know I'm a little superstitious about my first book of the year, and I usually go for a reread or an author that I already love, and I've never read anything from this author before, so I can't like confidently start the year with her book. It'll just have to be a later January read. At the moment, I am thinking that my first read of the year might be a reread of The Monk and Robot duology by Becky Chambers, which is a Psalm for the Wild Built and a Prayer for the Crown Shy. Because even though I've read both of those recently, I just feel like I've been feeling like I want to reread them. And also, one of the things, you know, I actually am going to be filming my 2023 like plans and intentions very soon, and as a sneak peek into that, one of the things I want to do is read more science fiction, and I am hoping that by starting my year with a sci-fi book, maybe it'll set my year up to like set the tone for 2023 as a year that I read more sci-fi. That's my genius plan. Anyways, so that's what I'm thinking I'm going to be reading next. I would love to know how your December reading is going, and either what do you think is going to be the last book of your year or the first book of the year in January. But love to hear about it in the comments. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, bye.